There's going to be a screening tonight for In the Heights, and we're going to have a public talk before, and we're going to talk about Latino representation in Hollywood and other issues, that come out of the movie, both good and bad, and just kind of have a sort of a dialogue about issues of colorism or just representation and where's Hollywood at these days with Latinos. And it's kind of nice to do it in a place such in a place such as West Texas. Well, I think it's what the thing is, it's a musical. I mean, it's actually one of the musicals when it came out in the aughts, right? I can't even, like, in the late aughts. It was kind of a big deal. It won so many Tony Awards, and it was like a representation of a Dominican neighborhood in the Upper West, in the upper part of Manhattan. It was kind of a big deal, and it was kind of revolutionary at the time. And you can't have Hamilton without In the Heights. It was a transformative musical back, and it deserved the accolades. Things that I always think about with the Latino community in this country, obviously we're not all the same, right? So the experience for someone growing up here in West Texas or is interested in Latino culture out here is not going to be the same sort of perspective or point of view that someone, say, in New York or Miami or Los Angeles. So I'm really curious about those type of questions, right? About questioning who we are as a community, especially during Hispanic Heritage Month, where we have to kind of understand that we have a lot in common, but there's a lot that we don't have in common. I mean, I'm originally born and raised in Puerto Rico, and San Juan, Puerto Rico, and Lubbock, Texas might not be, you don't think that they're similar. Hispanic population in this country is growing, right? It's close to 20%. And it's growing in places that you don't expect. It's not just Texas and California. It's not Florida. It's not New York. There's places like the South, one of the fastest growing places for Latinos is like Idaho or North Dakota. So you start seeing the fact that we're becoming more of a fabric of this country. Anyone that wants to understand it and has this desire to know more about what we contribute to this country I think is a positive sign, because we're only going to continue to grow. Where the future of the United States is, you're going to have to understand sort of the Hispanic community. It's important to ask questions, and it's important to always challenge perceptions, right? And especially when it comes to the Latino community and how we're perceived and our contributions to the United States. I kind of want to let younger people know that it's okay to ask questions. I'm curious as to what people are going to bring and what they're expecting. So I kind of like to keep it open. And actually, this is not a lecture. It's not a speech. I really want it to be a community dialogue. I really want to connect with people and kind of get to know people even in the hour and just kind of feel good about being here in Lubbock.